Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and today we've got a battle report from our local game store. John and myself decided to have a game. It's not a tournament game. We've got Shrapnel coming up this Sunday as we publish this, and we just thought we'd do 1,000 points each using his Fallschirmjagers and my British para regular army. It's the ones that we've been looking at just for doing some historical gaming, really, within bolt action and having a bit of fun. So this is John's new Sicily table, and I must admit it looks really great, and it was really good fun playing on it, and the troops looked really good as they were set out on the board. So we're going to be having some campaign games on this one coming up, so look out for some more battle reports. Probably not too soon, but it will be. So this is John's list that he's running today. It's his Fallschirmjagers for Sicily, and you can see there he's got 3 sections of paratroopers, and they have got 1 SMG, an LMG, and the rest are rifles. He's got a first lieutenant in control of them all. For his support troops, he's got a medium mortar, I think it is there, and he's got a medium machine gun. He's got an anti-tank rifle, which is that little sort of Panzerbusch gun, but he's running it as an anti-tank rifle. He's got a light gun, I think that's a light howitzer there, and a Kettenkrad for towing it. Not quite sure why he's done that. I think it's just for scenic value. He's got a motorcycle combination for his armoured car, and got a very nicely painted up Marder 2. Everything's veteran, I think. I'm not quite sure about the squads. Sorry, the teams. I think they may well be veteran as well. He might have taken them that as veteran. And as we were going through it, we couldn't quite understand why he took the Marder as a veteran. That could have freed up more points for him. But hey ho, that's how it runs. So yeah. That's John's Fallschirmjäger force. Very nice. We're putting together this Sicily themed couple of lists to run both in bolt action and for a campaign in chain of command that we're gearing up. John's just got his scenery for Sicily, and you'll see it in this battle report. Looking very nice. So that's what we've got on the cards coming up. So here's my list that I'll be using. It's my British mixed para and British regular army. So I've got a second lieutenant veteran with his mate, then 2 squads of 5 paratroopers veterans, all with SMGs. I've then got 2 sections of regular infantry with light machine gun and rifles, and in charge of that platoon is a second lieutenant, inexperienced this one. I've got the forward artillery observer, I've got a medium mortar with spotter, I've got a sniper team, and I've got a Piat team. And then you can see for vehicle support I've got 2 paratroop recce jeeps, a Sherman tank, and a truck. This is based on my reading of the actions around Primsol Bridge in Sicily in 1943, where the paratroopers guided in the regular army to retake the bridge. I'm not sure they had jeeps at that time, but I'm running them in this list. So that's my list. It's quite a nice little list. It's got a bit of flexibility, got a bit of power with the Sherman. It is the basic Sherman though, so it's got vulnerable size and catches fire easily. So I'm hoping just that I get hit on the front and nowhere else, and don't get set on fire. So that's the units that I'm running for my list. So this is the table we'll be fighting over today. This is John's from Strong Oak Painters. This is his new Sicily board. So it's rather nice. A few more bits, I think he's got an order to come. But yeah, that's going to be really nice. So we've seen the armies that we're playing, just got to work out what scenario we're going to play today. So we just rolled up, and we're going to be playing No Man's Land, so we're going to sort out troops for our preliminary bombardment. What do we do? Up to half units on?
Up to half units on, yeah.
Yeah, up to half units on. Up to 12 inches in?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless we've got any forward deploying. Excuse me, coughing. Still not recovered. So, yep, we'll sort out and get our first units on. So, we've set up, ready for it. So, what happens is that you keep the dice out for reserve, put the dice in that are going to come in, and then it's one by one when the dice come out. So, John has got his Fallschirmjagers set up over here. You can't shoot within 24 inches in the first turn, so John's got his Fallschirmjagers up front to make a bit of haste. He's got his medium machine gun down there in the corner, got his spotter, and then another unit of Fallschirmjagers, mortar, and his anti-tank rifle. I've sort of counted on this this side. I've got my mortar spotter here, my paratroop recce jeep, regular squad of British, another recce jeep. I've got the officer for the regulars, and then another infantry section. In the building here I've got a sniper, and in this building here I've got my forward artillery observer. So we're just going to roll off now to see if the preliminary bombardments come in. So we'll see how we can go. Rolling for the British preliminary bombardment to come in. Yep, yeah. 5 comes in. Germans?
Yeah.
Yeah, both in then, so we'll see what damage we wreak to each other. The preliminary bombardments have come in, and we decided we'd house rule it that the 6 only does 3 pins. So I'm rolling with 2 dice, because that's the British special rule. So I managed to get a 6 on the machine gun, so that's giving him 3 pins. A 6 on the mortar spotter, that's giving him 3 pins. 1 pin on the unit here, nothing on this one. Another 6 on the unit here, so that was 3 pins. 2 pins on the mortar, and another 6 which hit the anti-tank rifle. So that could have been real bad damage to 3 or 4 of John's units, if we had done it that way, and that could have had an effect on the whole game right from the start in turn 1. However, it would have been reciprocal really, because John's managed to put a few pins on here with 6s. This one was a 2, this was a 2, this one missed it totally, missed the other jeep totally. However, it was a 6 onto this unit here. What was the officer? No, he was a miss as well. Was he?
No, he must have missed him, yeah.
Missed him. A 6 on this infantry unit here, and then a 6 on the sniper, a 6 on the mortar, and a 2 on the observer. So, yeah, quite significant really, that could have been for both of us. But we do think it's a little bit off the rule on that one for the killing, so we just did it for the 3 pins. So, yeah, now into turn 1. So into first turn, I can't even get my teeth and words out right. So a lot of rallying been going on. So rallied all the main ones with the pins, and they've passed. Things that question came up that going to have to look at is infantry unit there, leadership 9. They had 3 pins, and I've got the officer next to them. So when we looked at rallying, it's unmodified leadership test, and you ignore negative modifiers. So obviously the pins. It doesn't say anything about not adding the officer. So the unit are 9, but the officer gives +1. So does that take them up to 10? Because I rolled a 10 for their leadership test. If it was unmodified, then they would have failed. But with the officer there, gives a +1 to their leadership, takes them up to 10. So we took it as that they could rally. So if you don't agree, let us know at the comments below. So John did much the same with his units that needed rallying. So these machine guns rallied, mortar teams rallied. The anti-tank rifle only got rid of 2 pins rather than the 3, so that was quite useful for me. Infantry unit here is all okay, and John's advanced up the 2 Fallschirmjäger units into the centre. I managed to get 1 pin onto this unit here with 2 hits, but didn't kill any, and I missed totally with the Jeeps because I advanced them up. They've got recce, and I'm hoping that they'll run out the way first next turn. So, going into turn 2, and reserves can come on. Move by John. Nice little move by John on this side. First dice out came to me, but I couldn't really put the Jeeps on ambush because these units here could threaten them just by firing, and the ambush wouldn't be any good. So first dice out I took for the sniper to take a shot at the unit down here, but it missed. And then John's played a nice little move by moving his infantry unit into the woods here to take a shot at my section. I've put them down, fortunately, but he still managed to get a hit and 1 pin. But what it has left is the German medium machine gun. Has now got a nice line of sight up the road to my Jeep. And it's a matter of now of who gets the first dice out, and it's going to put me back into that position. If I fire, then the Jeep is there, and there's a good chance that it could get shot to bits. And the other Jeep, if I fire that at this unit here, then the same thing can happen with this unit in the trees. So, yep, some things to think about for this turn. So, end of turn 2, and all the British are on. Well, apart from a Piat team that took their own turn, and I rolled double 6 for them to come on, and they didn't, obviously. So, the trucks come on, and the 2 parachute units have disembarked, so they're running out. The unit here are on offer to John's troops. These are in a very precarious situation. I went down with them because of the firing from the German squad that came up into the woods, and then John put a mortar round on them, needing a 6, and he got a 6. So killed 2, put 2 pins on, so they're on 3 pins, but now the mortar is ranged in, which was a real pain. He's brought his little light gun on the back there, you can see, and he brought his motorcycle team on to cause havoc. They did take a shot at the Jeep but missed. Managed to put my mortar onto these ones. That needs a 5 this turn, and at the beginning of turn 3 there will be the British artillery bombardment coming down, hopefully, within that. So John's moved up his troops there and moved the anti-tank rifle around, and he took a shot at the Jeep, but that missed as well. So my Jeeps are out in the open, a bit of a risky bit at the moment. So whoever gets first dice out is going to be taking some manoeuvres. If it's mine, I think I might have to get rid of them and move them rather than shoot with them. So John did decide to keep his Marder off the table. His Kettengrad also didn't come on, but he's keeping his Marder off the table. He's going to wait till he gets a better shot, I think. That's what I reckon. So let's have a look and see what happens with my artillery. So let's get a dice. I think 2 to 4 it's delayed, isn't it, or something like that? On a 3, delayed, and I can move it. Something like that. 4, 5, 6 it comes in. 2, 3. It is delayed, and 1 I think it might not even come in, mightn't it? So I can move it now up to 12 inches. So we'll see if we're going to do that. Well, some good fortune and some bad fortune in that one. I thought I'd be brave with my Jeep, and I took the first risk and it was okay. Took the second risk and it was okay. And then John moved up these units. I'd put 2 pins on it. He got rid of 1 pin, advanced it up, and there was 1 man within 6. So he obviously hit on a 6. The others were hitting on 6s, followed by 6s. And you know, with that 1 man, he rolled a 6, followed by a 6, followed by a 4, and that was the demise of my Jeep. I could have wrecked it, but I didn't. Greedy, I suppose I was. So yeah, so bye-bye Jeep. But on the plus side, his Marder didn't come on. It failed its leadership test, so stayed off. I was most pleased with that. I tried to take some shots at this one with my tank, but managed to get a pin and kill 1, so that wasn't so bad. Over here in the centre, John tried to advance them up. Fortunately, I put a pin on them from the British with their submachine gun, and he failed his leadership test with it, which was a real result for one pin. So that was a good one. But they, as I say, those have advanced up, so that unit there is a little bit under stress. I've got a unit of paratroopers in the bottom of the house. I've brought this paratroop unit round to put pressure on John's anti-tank rifle and his mortar team. The Marder is still off board. It could come on, and it's got a heavy gun, so it could do a bit of damage to troops. So I moved my truck a little bit further back just to get it a bit more distance. Nice board, nice table, but we're not actually playing in this quarter, or this third, but it might come into play. So into turn 3, yeah, 1 dice to John, and soon we're playing the scenario which gives dice to win. John's 1 up, so I'm hoping that I might get some there. He's now focused in on these with a 2. They killed another 2, put them up another 2 pins. I'm hoping that my artillery will come in and it might actually do a bit of damage to these. So moving into turn 4. So the artillery barrage comes in, and we managed to put 1 pin and kill 2 men, and John passed his leadership test, which was quite good. Sadly, only 1 pin on the light gun, 3 pins on the spotter, so he's not going anywhere fast. 2 pins on the motorcycle, so it wasn't so bad. Does cause John a little bit of dice rolling for his leadership tests, so could have been better, could have been worse. But moving into turn 4 now, and let's see how it rolls. Into turn 4, and the Marder is on. It took a shot at the sniper in the building, missed, and machine gunned the officer team, but missed as well. But it is on, and in a fairly safe position. So, turn 4, a little bit of firing. We've put some more pins onto the Fallschirmjagers unit here, and we managed to shoot the bits out of the motorcyclist with the paratroopers who come out of the building. Over here, the tanks put a little bit more pins onto the Fallschirmjagers unit, forcing them down, and the jeeps come up to take some shots at them, but only just put another pin on it, so they're still firing. Light gun is still ranged in. Oh no, it isn't. Oh look, it's gone. The unit there was destroyed, so they are dead. And to counter my move, John has moved around his Fallschirmjagers around his building, because I've got a unit of paratroops running in there, and the British section there, and the paratroopers here, and of course the officers there. So yeah, moving into turn 5, and it's 2 dice to John and 1 dice to me. So let's see what we can do in turn 5. So a little move by John here. His Marder. It's a very nice Marder. It's done a lot of work on that one. Very nice Marder. However, it is going to use its long nose to shoot at my Jeep. Oh, there it is. So he's moved 4 long range.
No, it's 30 inch.
So it's moved 4. Probably just soft cover then, isn't it? A 5.
Yeah, you are covered by.
Yeah, 5 to hit it then, John.
5 to hit it. And I rolled a 2.
Okay then, and then your machine gun.
Which is 6. Which would be 6 or something.
Yeah, long range. Yeah, 6s.
1 hit.
Oh dear.
4.
4. So just a pin. So it survives. So into turn 5, and the Germans are in retreat. John has zapped them behind there.
Redeploying.
Redeploying. Yeah. However, he did come forward with this unit here to take a pop at my paratroopers, which I went down, and they survived, only just taking a pin and losing 1. And then I've advanced up the officer and the infantry squad here, and has taken them down at least half of them, hasn't it? It's gone. I put them on 2 pins. The Marder, as you saw in the bit, has turned its nose, and it's going for the Jeep. The Sherman I couldn't run at the Fallschirmjagers because they were in the woods, so I've had to advance up and have a shot at them. But they're on 3 pins. They're still surviving. Moved the paratroopers up. and they're in not close range, but they're putting pressure on them. And John did take a shot, but failed. So
Failed morale, didn't it?
failed morale, yeah. Couldn't take a shot, which was quite good. So yeah, interesting. It's still 2 dice each, and we're moving into turn 6. So let's hope that the British get the first dice, because then I can kill his paratroopers. But we'll see, we'll see. Right, dice in with some dice to do a leadership test, and I say to the people, yep, going to fail this one. I hoped it wasn't going to be quite so bad. What it is, it's for this little unit here, who I was going to advance up to take a shot at those ones. First dice out of the bag, what a waste. So, I'm going to have to take a little test. Let's see what it's going to be. 5, they're going to run away.
Yeah, run away.
God, dear, what a waste. So, into turn 6, and there's been a little bit of killing. The Jeep has swung round and taken out the light gun. The paratroopers here duffed up the... well, they shot them actually, the Germans. John sacrificed to get a chance to kill the Sherman, but it didn't. He needed a 5 and rolled a 4, but it was close. So he did hose the British with the machine guns, but only got a pin. So around on this side, the Germans have moved up. John put his officer into safety, and it meant that my sniper team in the balcony couldn't shoot him. Just out of sight. These ones running backwards for the foo bar, that was a pain. I've moved these up to take a shot, but they only killed 1, and the paratroopers remain in place. John then's run up just moved it around the building to take a shot at my officer, but missed. So turn 6, it's 4 dice to me, and 3 dice to John. And John's going to have a roll to see if we move into turn 7. So let's see what we do.
Yes.
We do. Turn 7 comes up. I've advanced up the Sherman, and we're going to have a shot at the Marder. Moved 4, and that's what we need. A 6. So it's medium, it's a 5. And it's a 1. Failed to penetrate. Boing! So, yeah.
Did you get anything because it's open top?
No, because it's not indirect.
Okay.
So just the one pin. Fat, look at that, a 1. 6 or 7.
6.
Right, so John's managed to get a hit with his Marder on my Sherman because I bounced one off of him. So he's got a strength 6. I'm a 9 on the front.
10.
So 10, so it's a +1.
2.
So immobilised and 2 pins. And possibly turret jam. So he survives.
No turret jam.
No turret jam, yeah. So he survives, but he's immobilised. So that wasn't as bad as it could have been. Well, that was a hard-fought draw. Tried to take out the Marder, and he tried to take out my Sherman, so we sort of bounced off one another there. And then the Jeep, I tried to take out the infantry, but they survived. And at the last throw, nearly sort of got the dice tied. The unit of 3 came out here, took a shot, but they put 1 pin on, and John just failed to kill. So nearly got them to take a leadership test, and they probably would have gone, because they're not stubborn. That would have just been a regular at -1 pin. So yeah, nearly gone. Over here, this unit, it survived to the bitter end. I just couldn't get rid of it. Advanced up the paratroopers, took it with the regular infantry. Just couldn't do it. John went down, saved him totally there. So yeah, final tally: 4 German units killed against 3 British units killed. So a draw, but a really close fought one, and a really nice table to play over. So really well done, John, there on the table. So really nice. So yep, really enjoyed playing on that table, and I think it's going to work really well for our chain of command campaign that we're going to be taking on. Hopefully that's going to start within the next month. Once we get shrapnel out of the way, and that's this Sunday coming, that should free us up for a bit of fun doing some chain of command. So I hope to get some of those videos up and running. Probably still be doing a couple of bolt action games with my friend Colin as we go along on a Thursday night. So we'll see what we can do. So hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and share with your friends if you think they might like it as well. So until the next battle report or unboxing, take care and see you soon.